A very good afternoon to all my chartered accountants here. We welcome you all to our special webinar from the Committee on Promoting Work-Life Balance. This special webinar has been specially designed for helping you out for the inner peace and success. So I am Priyambada Chabra, Secretary of the Committee on Promoting Work-Life Balance, welcomes you all and values all your time and appreciate that you have given us some time and came here to listen to our special guest and special speaker as well as our moderator. We welcome you both, sir. This committee is being headed by this committee has been formed in this council year, that is 2025 and 26, under the leadership of our president, CA Charanjot Singh Nanda sir, as well as our Vice President, CA Prasanna Kumar D sir. And this committee has been run by our Chairman, CA Jechera sir, as well as our Vice Chairman, CA Sridhar Mupala sir. So we have been trying to incorporate all the initiatives to help our chartered accountants and to enable them to focus on their personal life along with the professional excellence. We all are very busy. We all have so many deadlines lined up with the tax audit, statutory audit, and everything, GST returns, all those returns. But yes, we usually forget that we have our personal time and personal family values, return are also equally important. So this way, the committee has been taking so many initiatives to help our chartered accountants to focus on their physical health, mental health, and happiness and well-being. We have been taking initiatives. Every Friday, we have our webinar series on contemporary topics of the work-life balance. Along with this, the committee is conducting on a regular basis the daily virtual yoga sessions. That is from morning from 6 to 7 a.m. in the morning. You can come there and take a maximum advantage of this from Monday to Saturday. Plus, we have the regular Zumba session. So, as per your time and convenience, you can come on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. These sessions are recorded also, so you can keep the things you can see as per your own convenience. So coming towards the webinar session, we welcome Dr. Tejendra Singh Rawal, sir. A very warm welcome, sir. And we have been honored here that you are with us and delivering a session for our chartered accountant. He's the youngest chartered accountant of our community. One of the youngest chartered accountant became chartered accountant at the age of 21. So, and our moderator, CA Praveena Oswal, thank you, ma'am, for taking out time and helping us out to run this session. So rather taking not much time, over to you, ma'am, for the session.
Thank you very much, Priyambada ma'am. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm CA Praveena Oswal, truly honored to introduce you to a distinguished professional and inspiring personality, CA Dr. Tejinder Singh Rawalji. Dr. Rawal is a chartered accountant, a PhD in taxation and a certified information system auditor CISA and information security manager CASM from USA. He holds multiple postgraduate degrees in commerce, economics, law, philosophy, and literature, and is a university topper throughout his academic career. He became one of the India's youngest chartered accountant, as said Priyambada ma'am, at the age of 21. And today he brings over 37 years of professional experience as a practicing CA. Dr. Rawal is a well-recognized authority on income tax, cyber laws, investment strategies, and information system audit. He has delivered lectures at universities, ICI platforms, and national and international conferences. He has authored several books and published over 200 research papers in reputed journals. His recent book, Kabir Revealed, has been widely appreciated for its depth and insight. Beyond his professional excellence, Dr. Rawal is a true humanitarian and community leader. He serves as a trustee and treasurer of the India Peace Center, founder president of the Central India Kidney Foundation, and founder of the Nagpur Book Club. He has also been honored with several awards, including Pride of Nagpur, Jaycee's Outstanding Young Person Award, and Yogi Manohar Navratna Award for his contribution to economics and accountancy. A man of many talent, Dr. Rawal is also a linguistic fluent in several languages, a passionate bird photographer, a marathon runner, and a cyclist. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in warmly welcoming an exceptional scholar, a thought leader, and a visionary professional, CA Dr. Tejinder Singh Rawal. I welcome you, sir. And
Thank you.
yes, sir. And
Yeah,
the today's topic is very interesting. As a chartered accountant, we measure financial returns every day. But today we measure something deeper, the inner return. And it is the gain we earn when we invest three essentials: passion, the work that derives us; peace, the financial stability that protects us; and purpose, the long term impact that defines us. Because success is not only what we earn from life, but what life earns from us. So, let's begin the journey of inner return. Over to you, sir.
So
uh,
I would like to add one thing. Today we are in Committee on Promoting Work-Life Balance, and you are the true example of work-life balance. Turning your profession, let it be professional excellence, along with your hobbies, that you are a true bird photographer. So everything comes with you. So you are a true example of work-life balance with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, uh, Pravina, CA Pravina, for a very flattering introduction. Thank you very much, CA Priyamvada, who represents Work-Life Balance Committee as the secretary. And uh, to you, I owe my gratitude for inviting me here. And thanks for all the kind words that both of you have said about me. Let's start with my presentation, and I'm sure I would, uh, I was thinking of what to deliver today. So first thing that came to my mind was, instead of giving something which looks like a self-help lecture, I would touch upon certain aspects of my own life and how I use them for work-life balance and for bringing happiness to myself, and related to the contents of the discussion today. So I hope it's going to be a very interesting discussion, and uh, and CA Pravina can perhaps has perhaps already instructed the participants for the questions, or I don't know how you're going to handle that aspect. You have already invited, or are you going to invite it later?
No, actually, questions are invited. I again
Yeah.
request participants to type their questions in the chat. We will be taking your session questions during the session. You can even share your feedback, queries, and questions. As the sir is having wide experience in various areas, he definitely will guide you and answer your all queries. So, I request participants to type their feedback, questions, queries in the chat. We will be
Perfect.
taking
Perfect.
it
So
during the session whenever time permits.
perfect. Thank you very much. And I'm sharing my screen, and we start here now.
Yes.
Yeah. Just give me a moment. So, friends, good afternoon. And it's actually a graveyard hour. I'm sitting in the US at the moment, and it is 4 o'clock in the morning. So, from my side, it is graveyard. From your side, it is middle of the day. So, welcome to this wonderful program that Work-Life Balance Committee of the Institute has organized. All gratitude and all kudos to the Work-Life Balance Committee. This is a much needed area, and I'm so happy that Institute is so thoughtful of various aspects. It's not merely the professional development, but your overall development, your holistic development, your balanced growth that Institute looks for, which is commendable. Not many uh, professional institutions would be doing something like that. So I'm really happy to be a part of this institute. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Just 1 second. Is it visible now or still not visible? It's visible. Perfect. Huh? Thank you very much. So we move ahead. Uh, uh, in fact, the first slide itself is going to be a big shocker for all of you, for all of us, because uh, in fact, the crux of the whole discussion today lies in the first slide itself, and uh, we may not actually like it initially, but I think why this is so important, I want to tell you. So let's dwell upon some basic questions. What truly matters is not the length of life, but the depth of impact that we make on the society. We spend years preparing financial statements, but rarely pause to prepare the statement that define us legacy. So I will ask you certain questions in this respect. Have you ever considered what is my own balance sheet? What is the statement that defines me? Our professional legacy is only a small part of it. What is our human legacy? What values do you want people to associate you with? Integrity, kindness, excellence, courage. What memories should your family, students, colleagues, and clients hold about you? Not your transactions, but your touch points. What contribution should outlive your career? A project, a student you mentored, an article you mentored, a community you uplifted? These questions may be slightly uncomfortable. Uh, Let me take you to the next level of reflection. Uh, we prepare CVs, resumes, profiles, balance sheets, project reports. Very few people prepare the eulogy that they would wish to be spoken at their condolence meeting. आपके condolence meeting पर आप लोग कौन सी कंडोलेंस मैसेज पढ़ेंगे? कैन यू थिंक ऑफ? इट्स अ शॉकर. इट्स नॉट अ सैडिस्टिक थिंग दैट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. इट्स नॉट मॉर्बिड. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट हाउ वुड यू लाइक, what would you like to be read as a eulogy on your funeral? Sorry to use that morbid word, but that is the roadmap that defines who you are. So that would define the person you want to be, the values you want to live, the choices you want to make today. It acts like a compass pointing towards your future north. So legacy is not created at the end of the journey. Legacy is a small, created in small behaviors every single day, every interaction, every choice you make, every act of generosity or integrity is adding to the story people will remember. So the real question is, what story are you writing today? What would you like? So I'm giving you an exercise to people of all ages who are listening to this presentation. It's a secret. Open a page in your diary. Keep it absolutely secret to yourself. Write down what would you like people to read as eulogy to you. This is not uh, uh, this is not a morbid exercise, as I said before, but this is how your roadmap, you will determine your roadmap. How would you determine your personality to be? How would you want people to recognize you uh, as a person, as an individual, as an impact maker, as somebody who impacted the society? And that would make all the difference. So please go ahead, do this, and I think this exercise itself would be the biggest lesson that you're going to get today from me. I have attempted, you also attempt. Let it be a live document rather than end of the term document. Keep improving upon that document, keep adding to it, so that uh, you know your end goal. Move to the next slide. This story has been told many times over, the overflowing cup, but I would again tell the story even at the cost of repetition. Uh, A young seeker goes to a monk and says, Master, I want peace. Teach me your wisdom. The monk smiles, picks up a teapot, and begins pouring tea into the seeker's cup. The cup fills, then overfills, then starts spilling everywhere. The seeker shouts, Stop, the cup is overflowing. The monk replies, Your mind is like this cup. How will peace enter if it is already full? I know many of you have heard this story many times over, but I want you to listen to this story again because I want to relate it to our professional journey as chartered accountants. As CAs, our cups are always overflowing, not with tea, but with deadlines, with clients, with GST notices, with emails, with calls, with last minute just a small doubt. Sir, एक छोटा सा doubt है. Just a small doubt questions, family responsibilities, social expectations. So we are champions in the art of multitasking, but somewhere peace slips out of the cup because the cup is already full. Because a mind that is overflowing cannot absorb anything meaningful, not joy, not clarity, not creativity, not rest. So I always like to tell what Socrates said centuries ago: beware of the barrenness of a busy life. The busy life makes itself very, very barren, would makes itself. This is such a powerful line. Busy does not mean productive. Busy does not mean fulfilled. Busy does not mean meaningful. Sometimes busyness is just another form of escape. The key message is how can you empty your cup? That's a key question. Number one, a few commitments that no longer serve you, a few expectations that drain you, a few habits that clutter your mind. Emptying your cup is not a weakness, it is a wisdom. Because only an empty cup can receive peace, perspective, creativity, renewal, and inner fulfillment. So, find out what is overflowing in your life today and what will you gently let go. I think this is an important consideration. So first is, write a secret eulogy for yourself. Number two, find out what is draining, what is making your cup full, and what can you eliminate from the club so that more tea can be poured into the cup. uh, this is the question that my 37 year journey in the profession, I have come across this question this situation many often. There are businessmen whose profits keep rising but peace starts depreciating. The higher the profit, the lower is the peace. This should not have been the case. It's not necessary that profit and peace. We are chartered accountants. We are the people who deal in finance day in and day out. We are the people whose raw material is money. We handle people's money. But to say that money is bad would be a bad thing. No, it's not bad. But money, when it reduces peace, depreciates your peace, then it's a problem. So we calculate ROI for everything except the inner return. Your mind is the garden, your thoughts are the seeds. You need to understand your inner return as you grow financially, spiritually, emotionally. All these components must go together. They are so important for your growth. Now, another lesson that I would like to this is the pyramid that we have normally built for ourselves. Money is important, no doubt. We keep money at the top. uh, Extended family, immediate family, and health. This is how we normally keep a pyramid. We ignore health. Health, when I say health, it means the physical health, the emotional health, the spiritual health, the happiness index. We just ignore that and we concentrate more on the way. When the base is thin and the top is so heavy, things become difficult. It's a lopsided pyramid that we have created for ourselves. The right pyramid that we should be creating for ourselves is like this. Health has to be the most important parameter. I was so happy to know that we are organizing yoga courses. It's so important. We are organizing happiness courses. We are organizing work-life balances here. This is such a holistic thing that we are doing. Health becomes the most important criteria, most important parameter for you. And when I say health, it means physical, mental, spiritual, all kind of things that would make you a healthy and a wise person. So health is the most important. The base has to be health. You cannot succeed in life at the cost of health. So if you're not uh, prioritizing your health, if you're not giving time to your health, you are losing on a very, very important parameter. You may be doing a lot for your clients, for your profession, for your business, for your friends and your family, but health is the most important and often neglected parameter. This is not to be neglected at any cost. So health, then money is equally important, but it comes only after health. If your health is good, when I say health, all the kind of health put together, then money becomes important, because without money you'll not be able to serve your interest. Money is not a bad thing. As a chartered accountant, we all know money is not a bad thing. Good money in the hands of good people does good things. This is my firm belief. You ought to earn money, because money is important. Without money, you cannot attain happiness. So, those of us who are feeling guilty about earning money, stop that. It's important that you earn money, but not at the cost of other parameters. So, first is health, mental and emotional well-being, money, then your responsibility towards your immediate family, your extended family, and finally your social connections, friends, community, your social media, your WhatsApp group, your LinkedIn, and everything would come at the thin part of it. So the foundation has to start from the bottom on a strong foundation. If health does not exist, nothing else would exist. Jaan hai jahan hai, as we say, and we also say sehat hazar nemat. So your health is what matters, then your money, and then this is the pyramid that you ought to be having. Otherwise, if you are tilting the pyramid, which we often do, you would be putting yourself on the wrong side of it, and things can go wrong. Uh, uh, Praveen has spoken about me becoming CA at the age of 21. I have decided to rely today in today's session. I'm trying to relate to my experiences, my journey in life, and how it helped me become a better person, a fulfilling person, I would say. So I was one of the youngest CAs at the age of 21 with an All India rank, and I was quite focused right from beginning about my journey as a chartered accountant. Uh, it was a choice by choice. I could have, securing a merit rank in my 10th and 12th exam. I could have gone for other degrees which were easily available, but my choice was to become a CA. So, I'm a CA by choice, not somebody who uh, uh, who could have done, because those time, my days when I started my journey, uh, people had a very clear priority. If you get these many marks, you go for medicine. If you get lower than that, you go for engineering. If you get lower than that, you go for commerce. I opted for CA right from beginning, and that has been a passion thing for me. I loved it. I would be coming more on that later when I advise young CAs about the career opportunities and career prospects. I will just move forward. Uh, mm, Praveen has spoken about bird watching and photography. These are some of the passion areas that I took in later stage of my life. Uh, uh, Audit uh, taught me to find errors. Bird taught me to find beauty. You need to have some passion, some hobby, some interest outside of your chamber. It's so important. And sitting glued to my chair for many, many hours, I used to feel that I'm missing nature a lot. So I picked up photography first. I started challenging myself as to what would be the most challenging kind of photography. And I find that there are two photography which are most challenging. Number one, the photography of uh, children, small children, infants, babies. It's very difficult. The behavior is unpredictable. It's very difficult to photograph the right mood of a child. Second is bird photography. They are tiny creatures who are beyond your control. So I challenged myself and got into bird photography. And once I got into that, I wanted to know more and more about birds. So I started, I would click a picture, and I would search for the name of the bird, the habitat, the behavior, and slowly I became a master in that art. And many of my bird photographies are now photographs are now published in government publications, in educational publications, in school and college books, and all. So it was completely a different area for me. I wrote research papers for Bombay Natural History Society journal, where I wrote about the two specific birds which were never sighted in India before, and I was the first person to sight them, which included a Pacific Ocean bird. So you might think this crazy for a chartered accountant to get into these areas, but I tell you, this opens your vision when you move out of your domain, your core area, and get into something which you are passionate about. You it's a recharge of your battery. It replenishes your soul. It teaches you patience and presence, and it teaches you how magnificent the nature is, how magnificent the God's creation is. This is not to advise all of you to get into bird watching and photography, but to think in terms of moving out of your core domain into some areas which you would be passionate about, which would make your life more meaningful, more balanced. So I love to quote from APJ Abdul Kalam when he says, "A dream is something that does not let you sleep. Its passion excites, discipline sustains." So and dream transforms into thoughts, and thoughts results into action. So whenever we speak about dreams, purpose, and inner growth, it is impossible not to remember Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Uh, when he says dream is something that does not let you sleep, it's true. So when you uh, find a passion and link that passion to discipline, uh, it sustains. So find out your ikigai, find out your passion area, find out something that excites you, new goals, new positions, new ambitions, new thing that would make you happy, and that will make your day beautiful. That would make your uh, uh, dream fulfilled. So uh, I'm a passionate golfer, and golf has taught me a lot many things. I don't know how many of us have played golf, but golf is something which is so interesting because uh, the real swing happens before the club moves. You know, if you have seen a golfer, and if you are not a golfer, you would think him crazy. The golfer keeps thinking for minutes together, and then, as if contemplating, as if meditating, as if getting into some mindful exercise, thinking deep, and then slowly he acts in a rhythmic manner, and the swing takes the ball. So real swing does not happen when he really hits the ball with the club. Real swing happens in the mind before the club hits the ball. He imagines, or she imagines, visualizes where the ball has to land. She makes a complete mental picture of everything. So your preparedness is 80% of the work, and 20% is the execution. So you prepare, you think, you slow down, which is an important lesson today. We are running at a very fast pace. We need to slow down sometimes. So your uh, uh, it's like uh, we suddenly decide not to rush in the golf swing. If you are playing golf, you cannot rush would make you a bad golfer. So today we live in a world of speed, notifications, emails, deadlines. We are always reacting, always rushing. But peace, quality work, and meaningful action come only when you slow down and think intentionally. Golf has taught me that thinking deep, slowing down, acting after uh, creating a picture in your mind. And I would relate it to something uh, the latest, the AI thing. Uh, I have just finished writing a chapter for ICAI publication on prompt engineering. And prompt engineering is AI is something which I think everybody, all of us are learning. We have, again, I would praise the institute for being in the forefront of leading the members into technology and making sure that AI uh, is is something is becomes a tool for all of us. When you write a prompt, you need to have clarity. You need to have the give the right prompt to the computer, and the computer comes out with a beautiful answer. Give the wrong prompt, anything goes wrong, and the answer is wrong. Garbage in, garbage out, as we say in the language of the computers. This is what happens in golf, as well as in prompt engineering, as well as in our life. You need to uh, prepare the prompt in your mind, give the right prompt to the computer so that it comes out with the right answer. This exactly has to be the life. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your output. In case of prompt engineering, in case of golf, in case of our professional success also. Unfortunately, many of us are running the race. It's a dog eat dog world. We are running the race. We don't have time to think, sit back, contemplate, think. We just move on, and whatever free time we get is occupied by the notifications, by the email, by social media, by reels and other things. So I think it becomes important for you to give time to yourself. We have stopped giving time to ourselves. Most of us, I think you all would agree with me. If you're sitting for 10 minutes without doing anything, or 5 minutes without doing anything, the first thing you would do is to pick up your mobile phone and start scrolling. Uh, the mobile would determine the direction of your thoughts. So we really do not get time for ourselves. We need to get time. So try to find out slots for yourself. You can handle social media in a different slot. You need to have time for yourself. You need to contemplate. You need to think. Your delivery would depend upon the quality of your delivery, would depend upon the quality of the inputs that you give to yourself. This is what golf taught me. This is what prompt engineering taught me. So golf is equal to prompting. That is equal to life. Uh, Pause, think, and act. Uh, Pravina, you want me to pause again because I asked. I just gave a lesson on slowing down. So if you want me to slow down, I can slow down. Otherwise, I can continue.
It's just one question that
Yeah.
bringing balance in the life. There is bombarding that you should focus on your health, you should focus on your family relationship, uh, entertainment, traveling. So it's itself creating stress that I'm not doing working in all these areas. So how a
True.
person can decide
Yeah.
what he should focus
Right.
on?
Absolutely. It's a matter of prioritizing. If you are if you are entertaining yourself, uh, you should not be guilty of that. Because you start feeling guilty that I'm eating into my other time and getting into entertainment. So it has to be a holistic view where you decide on uh, what makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. So the old idiom still prevails. So just have a balance. Just contemplate. You start your day with a prioritizing thing. I have eliminated lots of trivias from my life. I do not watch much TV because I do not find much help in watching TV. But that is not to say that others should also be doing the same. I don't like watching movies. Uh, Again, not to say that others may not like it. So I have eliminated all those elements completely from my life. So you need to eliminate certain things. You need to so that you are able to give time to the things that are important for you. In fact, later slide, I would be talking about the four quadrants of prioritization, where I would be explaining what is urgent, what is important. If it is urgent and important, it has to be handled. If it is not urgent but important, there is a different treatment for that. If it is not urgent, not important, there is going to be a different treatment. So I would be covering that aspect in a separate slide where I would. So if you are handling things which are in the important part of those four quadrants, you would not have stress. So I would be coming to that a bit later. Certainly. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, the another is as a professional, we often prioritize responsibilities over personal fulfillment.
Yeah.
How can CA effectively reconnect with their passion without compromising professional commitments?
Yes. I would be coming to that in a later slide, but at the moment, let me tell you that you have to define boundaries. It's so important. A client calling you at 11:30 in the night on the deadline day कि सर एक छोटा सा डिस्कस करना है आपसे, just wanted to discuss something. You can understand how irritating it can be. The client doesn't realize that for him it's only a 2 minute talk, but for you it's a deadline of life and death. You're working on that, and he wants to talk to 2 minutes. He doesn't talk merely for 2 minutes. We are a country of very social people where we अरे कैसा चल रहा है सर और क्या चल रहा है बताओ बिजी होंगे आप तो ये काम चल रहा होगा like that. He start talking like that. So you have to decide on certain priorities. You have to decide on boundaries. You have to decide on where your professional commitment ends and your personal life begins. The balance between, so that has to be very very clear demarcation between the two. If you do not do that, you are going to be messed up, because we belong to one profession where if you are committed for 24 hours a day, it would still be short. So if 24 hours is still short, why not curtail it to the right balance? Remember that you have every right to enjoy your personal life. So keep that in mind. It has to be, your happiness is your prime concern. Your productivity in profession would be higher if you are able to balance your personal life with that. If you are engaged, I've seen people who are engaged day in and day out in serving the clients full time in the profession, ignoring all other aspects of their life. Their productivity is actually lower than the people who have learned how to balance. So more on that I would be talking again later in another slide. But at the moment I can tell you that you need to understand where your professional commitment ends, and you have to have a watertight compartment between your professional commitments and your personal and your family life and your passion. You have to define that very very clearly. Once you define that, stress won't be there, because you are working within the parameter that you have defined for yourself.
So clarity and priority is the key.
Absolutely, absolutely. Clarity and priority, and focusing on that, on those aspects, and without and keeping balances between them, I think becomes most important. Otherwise, stress is a natural outcome.
Okay. Remaining questions we
Okay.
will take in due course. Please continue with your.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. You can interrupt me anytime during the discussion. I'll be very happy with that. Huh? So I'm a marathon runner, and let me share my experiences. I was a couch potato till the age of 50. I don't know to tell my present age, but at the age of 50, till 50, I did not do any exercise, and I used to joke that the only exercise that I do is brushing my teeth. And then I realized that things were getting bad for me. My first marathon that I ran was on my 50th birthday, right on the day of my 50th birthday in Goa, as Goa happens to be a tough marathon because of the weather conditions. I took a challenge to myself. Since then, I have done more than 100 marathons in different parts of the world, including the toughest marathon, which is the Ladakh marathon, where the oxygen is only 30%, and you have to rise early in the morning and run up to Khardungla Pass, the highest motorable point on earth. I've done more than 100 of them since then, and it has become a passion. Lot of learning came out of that. If you're running 42 kilometers, a full marathon, I have done about 15 full marathon, and most others are half marathon, 21 kilometers and 42 kilometers. So when you're running 42 kilometers, at around 30-35 kilometers, your legs stop. They refuse to go ahead. It's a block. They just simply refuse. They would not move forward. Your body stops cooperating with you. That time it's your mind that matters. Your mind negotiates. Your mind tells you, you have to tell your mind that the finish line is only 10 kilometers away. And then it's mind that takes over. Your body becomes secondary, your mind becomes the most important. So endurance comes from inner discipline, rhythm, breathing, consistency, focus, and training your mind to do that. And that, a lot of learning I have learned from running marathons. and it's just amazing. I have done cycling. I have done 200-kilometer cycling, 400-kilometer cycling, and when you ride 200 kilometers, at some point in time, uh, unless you have the right mental energy, you give up. So it is not the distance you conquer, but yourself when you're taking this kind of endurance exercise when you are running. So a lot of bird watching, golfing uh, taught me to slow down. Marathon taught me to have endurance, never to lose hope of the target. Even when your body does not support you, your mind, running is in the mind, not in the body. So a lot of learnings you can derive from the passion activities that you undertake. I'm opening the world for many of you to think of what can be your passion activity, where you can get into. Remember, somebody who did not run a single kilometer till the age of 50 decides to run first marathon at the age of 50, and since has been running more than 100 marathons all over the world. Is certainly something that many of us can emulate. How many of us do not exercise? How many of us do not spend time on our body and mind? uh, if we do not just introspect, if we do not think of getting into that area, half an hour every day is good enough. Can we not spare half an hour? It's pretty easy. We think of what you can eliminate from your life for 1 hour or for half an hour, and uh, and prioritize your health. Uh, your running, your walking, your cycling, your badminton, or your tennis, or your gym, whatever you like, whatever you're passionate about. I often interact with CA students, and students तो यही बोलते हैं ना, टाइम ही नहीं है हमारे पास. It's a basic question, basic. We don't have time, and they are right. They do not have time. But I tell them to, number one, do not let their hobbies die, because we focus so much on studies that we let our hobbies die, and that the hobbies would never, once dead, they would never come back to you. So even if it means spending half an hour per week on your music lessons, or on your singing or your dancing or whatever, do it. Don't let the hobby die. There would be a time after you qualify, when you are able to find time, you will be able to nurture that hobby better. Number two, do not ignore your health. Even if you are studying for 16 hours or 14 hours or 12 hours a day, which many of the students do in the classes, and the articleship, and self study and everything put together can be many hours. I tell them to make a note every day of how you're going to uh, keep yourself physically and mentally fit. And I think the same lesson I want to tell my fellow members also. Keep it at the top. Every day, when you make a list of the things that you need to do, number one thing has to be what I'm going to do today for my health. I think that becomes an important parameter for all of us to understand. And this is what I told you. Yeah, this will keep coming. As CA Pravina said, balancing becomes difficult when you're spending so much time on the profession. Uh, Sir, just a small doubt. रात को फोन आता है आपको. If you think no one cares, if you are alive, try missing text deadline. People start remembering their chartered accountants on the deadline dates. Other days, well, fine, but on the deadline they do remember chartered accountants, and on the last day they would call and say, "Is it the deadline today? आज last date है क्या?" Knowing fully well that आज deadline है, but they want to ask you, आज deadline है क्या? You say, हाँ हाँ आज deadline है, तो मेरा हो जाएगा क्या काम? So, this is where things go wrong. This is what I think Pravina is thinking when she's talking about prioritizing. Uh, a little bit of humor, I think, helps in that situation. But I think I'm used to this situation. Everybody, all of us are used to this situation. This keeps happening, and some of the clients think that they are close friends, and they are close friends. So they feel they have every right to encroach upon your timings uh, and your personal life, and call you and make you perform. So I think we need to define. I would come to that a little later in a more pronounced manner. Uh, this is what I wanted to share, because I have been discussing with many young chartered accountants. Some of them wanted to become CA because the family wanted. And then after becoming CA, they find themselves empty. This can happen to some of us. Uh, so purpose is not inherited, it is discovered. You have to, if you have become CA because somebody else wanted you to become a CA, Now, having become CA, if you're finding your life empty, do not despair. There are ways. And CA is such a fulfilling profession with so many areas. Uh, find out your niche area, find out your passion area. And if you are not able to find your passion area, you would be in the wrong slot. You would be a square peg in a round not fit, or you would be a round peg in a square hole which will not fit. So you need to find out your passion area. If you have, for whatever reason, if you have become a CA, it becomes important for you to understand, to find out what makes you happy in the profession. And fortunately, this profession comes out with hundreds of different areas. Institute keeps opening up new unconventional areas for us. So find out what makes you happy. If you are able to find out something that makes you happy, work will no longer be work. It will be pleasure. And when work is no longer work, you are more productive, you are more effective, you are able to make more money, because work is not work, you're just enjoying what you're doing. So find out. Ikigai is a oft repeated word and oft used and abused and misused word, but I think it's still important. You need to understand what is your ikigai, what is uh, what is your niche, what is your USP, what makes you what you are. You need to find that out. The eulogy in the beginning was meant for that purpose only. That was an exercise that I would exhort upon to you to do. The Try to find out what makes you happy. If you have discovered your ikigai, you have it. You need to find out what process or part in the profession makes you happy, and slowly try to get into that area, and you would not feel empty at all. So ikigai, so what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what uh, earns you a living. A cross section of this is what is your ikigai. Try to find out. Keep looking for. I keep discussing with people. The Japanese who invented the term ikigai often say that it took them a lot of time to discover what their ikigai was, what their passion was. Try to find out your ikigai. If you have found it, you are a wonderful person. You are way above everybody else. If you have not found it, and if you're working on something which is not a part of your ikigai, you would be a wrong slot. You would be draining yourself, draining your mental energy. Find out what you are good at. Find out what makes you happy. Find out, and there are areas in the profession. Money comes easily to you when you are working on areas which you are passionate about. Simple, uh, uh, bottom line of this. Uh, so, a humor that we often come across. Uh, Articles learn everything. They learn GST. They learn audit. They learn everything. But they don't know where the files are kept. And software update happens when you are at the right, when you are at a very critical moment, and suddenly your computer says updating, 2 hours gone. In India, it's sometimes much more than that. Sometimes electricity off. Especially those of you who come from tier 2 and tier 3 city would relate with me. Network gone, it happens everywhere. So things do go wrong. So that is the time where you need to inculcate the right amount of humor to keep you on board, to keep you happy. Otherwise, as Pravina said, stress, stress, stress. There would be lots of stress. So instead of agitating, just smile. Uh, the world is not going to, you're not going to die because of that. Things would come out, you will come out, and there are certain things for which you have no, uh, over which you have no control. So when you don't have any control over anything, uh, you would as well be happy instead of fretting about it. Things you can control, you must control. Things you cannot control, be happy about it. Uh, Smile and let it go. One another lesson I would like to share from my own life. This may look quite strange to many of us. I know 8 languages, and I am, as Pravina said, I am MA in many languages. I'm MA in Hindi, MA in English, MA in Urdu, in Persian language. I know Arabic, I know Spanish, Marathi, of course, and Punjabi. Marathi is my mother tongue because I was born in Maharashtra. Punjabi because born in a Punjabi family, and Hindi, of course, is a national language. So a few years back, I started developing interest in Urdu, and I picked up the language. Did challenge myself that if you have to learn language, you must do some course. So I challenged myself, did an MA in Urdu, qualified, and then I thought of giving free lessons in Urdu to people. So the free Urdu classes, Amozish Urdu, became very popular classes in Nagpur. Every batch it's an annual batch. Every year we announce. It's a 6 week batch every year, and physical batch. And in every batch we stop the registration at 50. But there are lots of gate crashers and lot of old batch students and everybody who comes in, and finally we end up with 70-75 students. The hall is not big enough to accommodate those many students, but many of them stand at the back so that they're able to learn Urdu. And people come from all background, all ethnic background, all different faith community background, to learn a language which is the language of passion, the language of रोमांस मोहब्बत की भाषा, जिसे हम कहते हैं मोहब्बत की ज़बान है उर्दू. So this was just an experiment that I did. I announced that I would be opening a batch, and I found people, chartered accountants, engineers, doctors, police officers, army officers joining the batches. And so I just had experimented, and now it's a last batch was 12th batch. I'm running it every year. People are waitlisted for the next batch. Before the one batch is over, the next batch gets waitlisted completely free of cost. And it connects me to a lot of people from different background. People who love poetry, people who love theater, people who love writing, people who love to write creative writings, and so on. And people who are just passionate about. A lot of them share that they are like somebody, a student said that she was uh, uh, always busy as a doctor, but now she wants to find time for something that she's passionate about, so she has come to learn Urdu. So these are uh, ways in which I've been able to serve the community and connect with the greater community. Connection, network, making friends, I think, is an important lesson for all of us. We live in a profession where we belong to a profession where networking becomes very, very important, where going beyond networking and making friends with the people who are part of your network becomes very, very important. So that class has given me that kind of connections. I would just move forward to the next one. I'm a part of Nagpur Book Club. I know Pravina is also a voracious reader, and many of you would be voracious readers here. We formed a book club in Nagpur uh, about 10, 12 years back. I am the founder, and it has become India's most vibrant reading community now, with about 800 members, and with about 75 or 80 members attending every meeting. We have inculcated a culture of reading and growing. We reach out to schools, we reach out to colleges, we have established book clubs in schools and colleges, independently running book clubs. We just give them the SOPs, we tell them how they have to operate, and the school operates on its own. And Nagpur has a very, very vibrant book reading culture thanks to Nagpur Book Club, which we founded. We also running a library. We are running a book bank, which I think many of us can put in our install in your city also. I'll explain you what I'm doing here. In my office itself, I have devoted a shelf for academic books, which once you are through with that year study, you just throw away. So I've asked people to donate those books, 10th standard book, 12th standard book, medical book, engineering book. They come to my office. I have assigned one of my staff to uh, to write in an Excel sheet all the books that come in, and we paste it on the Nagpur Book Club website. The details of the books that are available. People come and collect the books. Those who want the books, they just have to come and show the ID card that I'm a student of this class, and they can pick up the book and take them away forever. Not a library, it's a bank. It's just a bank. We want books to come in and we want books to go out, and it's working fine. I think, and that keeps one of my staff busy. But I'm very happy that we are able to uh, find the right users for the books that would have otherwise not become available, and not and many people want book and for want of money or whatever reason they are not able to buy, they are able to get these books. So I think you can think of starting some kind of community things that would be fulfilling. And when you give to the society, when you give back to the society, the giver is happier than the receiver. I can share with you. When you give, you feel happy, you feel more fulfilling than the person who receives it, because uh, you feel that you have paid back to society whatever is due to you. I always like to say in this context that I am a product of so many people who would have mentored me all my life. I have had the guidance of so many people. I owe gratitude to many people who made me what I am, but I cannot pay them back. Many of them never expected me to pay them back. And many of them would not be happy if I pay them back because they did it out of gratitude. The best way to do that is to pay it forward rather than paying it back, which means I pay it to the society. Somebody did it to me, I pay it to the society. The person receiving might pay it forward to the society again, and the circle of paying it forward establishes and makes the world a better place. So I think this is an important lesson for us. uh, and when it comes to your professional networking also, let me share something very interesting here at this point in time. uh, the best way to connect with people is to give. Find out people who are helpful to others, connect them. The connections, when people connect to each other because of you, your connections also grow. So the best way to network is not to have so many people in your LinkedIn profile, but to reach out to people, try to find out in what way you can help them, and try to help them if you can, if it is within your power to do that without straining on your resources, and without expecting anything in return. So you keep giving away, and it comes back, I can assure you.
Yes, so
uh,
very interesting thing. Actually, I would like to participants to visit the Facebook and LinkedIn page of the Nagpur Book Club. I just checked there are millions of followers and various activities you get to know from that site, and you can start these activities in your cities also. Yeah, actually, on that there are various questions
yeah,
from the
please.
audience.
Yeah, please.
Should I ask?
Yeah, please, Pravina, go ahead.
Yeah, what is the practical starting point for someone who feels disconnected and does not know where to begin with inner journey?
Yes. I think the first thing is to sit back and contemplate. uh, you know, uh, uh, Detach yourself of all the digital world. Just spend time with yourself. Try to find out things, make a list of things that make you happy. Whether you're able to do them or not is a different thing. Just try to make a list of things that make you happy, and find out uh, uh, find out the purpose of your life. Why do you exist? Why do you live? We are not living for eating, sleeping, and repeating. We are not living for mere profession alone. We are not So to identify yourself as a chartered accountant is half the story. You should be identified as a person who is a chartered accountant for his profession, but also does these many things. So try to find out the purpose, the passion, the areas that make you happy. And if you can find one purpose today, or within next 1 week or within next 1 month, try to put that into your actual practice. Try to get into that area. You will be happy. There is no limit. There is no age restriction in learning. I've seen people who started learning dancing at the age of 65. I know people who started running. If you have heard of a marathon runner called Fauja Singh, he started running at the age of 94, and he died recently at the age of 113. He ran marathons at the age of 100. So there is no age restriction on fulfilling your passion areas. You should be passionate. The world has changed completely. There was a time when things were stereotyped. If somebody wanted to learn singing at the age of 50, people would laugh. Would say that ये इसकी क्या जरूरत है. Now the world has changed. People are fulfilling their passion at all age. If you want to do clay modeling, do it. So find out what makes you happy, and incorporate at least one of them passion every year. When Pravina, you were asking me how I can do so many things together, because I have been incrementally adding passion to my life. I have not done everything together. I added uh, cycling, I added running, I added bird watching and photography. So they have been incremental. So initially, I had to spend a lot of time in that. Gradually, it became a part of my routine life. So even if I do not go for birding for a month to for maybe 2 months or 3 months, I still know no I'm still connected to the birding world. If I even if I don't golf for 6 months, I when I go on the golf course, I'm a golfer. So I think you can slowly build up that. Maybe adding one activity to your life every year uh, means a lot many activities in your life. So you can see your CV, your profile, your biodata changing completely every year. I always tell people that my biodata is a live document. So whenever uh, uh, you want to know more about me, find the latest things because I keep adding. So I think this is how. So you have to keep growing always. All right. Okay.
Yes, definitely. Actually, you guided very well that you don't have to do all the things together. You focus on one thing at a time and keep doing it with the discipline, consistency, and it will add it. So there is a question
Absolutely.
regarding what strategies can help individuals sustain motivation and enthusiasm during phases of monotony, uncertainty, and career stagnation. So people begin it very great zeal and enthusiasm, but after some time lose the momentum or not able
Yes,
to
yes,
keep the
yes.
pace.
I know.
So
I know.
how they sustain the motivation and enthusiasm?
Right, right. This is a very, very valid question. And especially you lose momentum when you get engrossed in something which makes you very busy. And so you know what happens is you have different commitments, and one commitment uh, takes over most of your time. So you start losing enthusiasm in other areas of your life. So number one is, as I told in the beginning, when I advise CA students and articles, I tell them not to kill their hobbies and passion. There are times in your life when you will not be able to devote time to your hobbies. Do not kill them. Just keep them dormant and wait for the right opportunity when they can rise again. Number two, find the right passion. Quite possible that uh, I got into something, but I later realized that this was not my passion area. Learn to do away with that also. It's important. Just because I've invested my time into it does not mean that I must continue with that. I have experimented with different things. Some of them I did not like. I spent maybe a year or two learning those skills, and then I realized that this is not for me. This does not suit my perception, my nature, my attitude. So I have given them up. So in case it is something which you are losing because of different priorities, do not kill them. uh, Keep them dormant, and at the right time you can rekindle them. Number two, if you find that you have got into an area by mistake, uh, just to give a simple example, since the slide is on power of reading, and Pravina, you would be able to relate well with that. If you're reading a book and having read 200 a 300 pages book, having read only 50 pages or 20 pages, you realize that, oh, this is of no interest to me. I'm not getting interested. But because you have paid 800 rupees to buy that book, you want to read that because 800 रुपए तो spend कर दिया है, इस पे तो पढ़ना होगा. That's the mistake that we make in our life. So uh, what we call sunk cost fallacy. You have put cost into it, so you want to recover that cost, even if that is a drudgery, even that's a boredom for you. So uh, throw away that book if you do not like it. 800 rupees, let it go. But 800 rupees spending and then reading the book is another torture that you would be making to yourself. Think of it as a bad decision, keep it away, give it to somebody else. Somebody else might find the right slot for that book. Same happens in our life. So if you find something which you thought is a passion area, got into that, and realize that this is not your passion area, even if you have invested money in its membership, its teaching, its learning, its books, its online courses, just do away with that. Try to find out the right slot. If you find the right slot, uh, uh, it'll it'll remain with you forever. So it's ikigai again. It's ikigai. Keep looking for the right thing that that you're passionate about, and you would never kill that. I know, because your passion would keep it alive. You would. I know of golfers who are 75 years old, retired army officers who are waiting for the sun to rise so that they can grab their golf bag and run out in the field and start playing golf. So much of passion at this age. They're just waiting for sun to rise. They don't even keep an alarm. They're just waiting, eyes open. Oh, subah ho gayi. Chalo, let's go and play the game. So this is the kind of passionate things that you need to find for yourself. It will take time. It will take some experiments, and nobody would be able to guide you on that. You have to guide yourself. So keep trying different areas, and don't think that something is uh, outside your domain. Do not. Nothing is outside your domain. Uh, Bruce Lee once said very beautiful things. He said, "I do not fear a man who knows 10,000 different kicks. I fear a man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." So if you keep practicing 10,000 times, you are an expert in that. So do not think that anything is out of your um, uh, domain area. My bird is an example. Marathon is an example. I would come to biodiversity index a little later, where I am busy with making the biodiversity index of Nagpur city based on Singapore Biodiversity Index, which is the domain of architects and engineers and those professionals. But I'm coordinating that activity and I'm loving that activity because it's like uh, uh, giving back to my city, my community, by way of creating a biodiversity index of the city, which is a huge monumental work which I'm coordinating. So do not think in the present world where AI is your assistant, where knowledge can come to you from any source. You just have to tap the right source and you get the knowledge. Do not restrict yourself to core areas, and do not have a feeling that, well, this is outside my domain. No, nothing is outside your domain. The world is open to you, and start finding out things that make you happy. I hope a long answer to a short question it was.
No, actually, you
Okay.
have covered very various areas. And yes, it is not necessary that every race you should start it, you should finish it. You have the
Yeah.
option and choice to leave that race.
Gracefully, you should be happy that you're leaving the race, because you were not meant for that. So be and do no guilt feeling about that, no stress about that. Yes, this was not my race, I'm leaving that. Be
Yes.
happy, and you can tell your friends and family, no, this was not my I got into that, but I realized that this is not my thing. Get out of that.
Okay, just a last question for now. How we can manage the internal conflict that arises when personal aspiration, workplace pressure, and life responsibilities pull us in different directions. So
Yeah.
the four wheels of the car
Yeah.
pulling you in different
I
directions. How you move
uh,
ahead?
I would come to that two slides later when I'm actually discussing this
Okay,
aspect.
sure,
Yeah,
sure. We
I
continue.
would do that. Yeah, I would do
Yeah.
that. Yeah. The power of reading. I read a lot, and reading is what has made me what I am. I always have a target of reading 52 books a year, which is one book a week, and I exceed that target every year. If you go to Goodreads and read my profile, you would discover the kind of books that I'm reading. And I could be reading books on E is equal to MC square. I could be reading book on genealogy. I could be reading books on. Have I lost connection to you, or is it okay? Uh, am I audible? Yeah, yeah, fine.
Yes, sir, you are
Yeah,
audible.
yeah, yeah, perfect. Huh? So, um, just one second. So I read about every aspect. I challenge myself into reading books on the subject that I did not know anything about before. So I have read vastly on the Second World War and the last Reich, the how the World War happened, and the making of the atomic bomb. And I read a lot of fiction also, but primarily non-fiction, but historical non-fiction biographies and all. But I read some fiction also, great fiction also. I read P.G. Woodhouse, which people would think children should be reading. It's so hilarious that it makes me happy. When I'm slightly low, I pick up one of the P.G. Woodhouse books and I read that book, and I find that it's so interesting. So reading is something that is uh, I think essential. It is not negotiable. If some of you have not been reading, please take to reading. this is one hobby that I would like to impose upon you, even if it amounts to that. Reading, um, uh, I always like to say, this may hurt some people. I always like to say that there is no difference between a person who does not read and a person who cannot read. So, person who cannot read, illiterate, person who does not read, even if he knows how to read, does not read. What's the difference between the two people? So I think it's important. God, we have been blessed that we belong to that section of society where reading comes automatically and naturally to you. Our professional reading we are doing. Read beyond your profession. Try to find time. People say we don't have time. Can you read 10 pages a day? 10 pages a day is not much of a target. 10 pages a day makes one book every month. Okay, 300 pages is an average size of a book. So if you can read 10 pages a day consistently, uh, you have read one book a month and you have read 12 books a year. And that's not a big target. Even students can do that. Even school children can do that. So make it a point. Another lesson that you would like to derive from today's discussion is read, read, read. It's very, very important. A reader lives many 1,000 lives. A non-reader lives only one life. So I think that's a big lesson. You can see the library behind me in the picture. My library, I'm proud owner of the biggest personal library in my city, huge, running into 4,000 books. And as many of them I have not read, but I would be reading someday perhaps. I keep buying books and I keep reading many, many books. And if you look at the library, on the top left corner, the maroon color, the top right corner books, you can see those big books. These are books on Archaeological Survey of India by Cunningham, 1850, who had done meticulous survey of every part of India. So it starts from that. On the right hand side is books on Indian history and Indian philosophy and Indian religion. In between are books on different topics. So it depends upon your reading habits, and I think reading can change your personality completely. Give me 10 minutes with a person, and I can tell whether that person reads or not. It's so simple. Reading makes you a different person. So I think this is something that may look like imposing, but I would like to impose upon my fellow chartered accountants. Read, read, read. The more you read, the more you grow. I do write a lot. Uh, I have written many books. Uh, the latest book, as CA Pravina said in the introduction, was on Kabir, the philosophy of Kabir. Now, again, completely out of my profession. I've written books for professions also. Uh, I'm revising the a very famous book on security analysis and a very famous book on investment management for MBA students now. That's a different thing. Writing um, is something that uh, gives you a lot of insight about yourself. So write a diary, write a page, write a blog, write to yourself. Writing clarifies your mind to yourself. Make a habit of writing a few lines every day. It helps. It does help. So we have lost touch with writing. The only writing that we are writing is to the assessing officer and uh, to the clients. Start writing something to yourself, and you would find, you maybe may end of the day write a small summary of what you did during the day to yourself. If you have a flair for writing, you can think of writing as an article or as a blog or as a book also. But write something every day, a few lines to yourself. That will be a great help. You can delete whatever you have written. You can write on pen and paper. You can write on digital media, but write something to yourself every day, and that would be a reflection of your mind. When you write, you focus more, and you contemplate more, and you think more about that aspect. Uh, so this is another lesson that I would like to give you. I'm a trustee of India Peace Center, which is an interfaith organization working towards creating harmony between communities. I work a lot on that aspect. India Peace Center is a pan-India organization headquartered in Nagpur, and the key areas for which this organization work is number one, environment, because we feel that environment is a part of peace process. So I'm working heavily on environment. Um, uh, when I give speeches on environment, people wonder whether I come from CA background or from some environmentalist background. But I'm very, very passionate about environment, about biodiversity, about ecosystem, ecology, and so on, and about you know, conserving the earth and making sure that we pass on a better earth to our successor than we received it from our predecessors. I'm very concerned about that aspect. The second thing that we've been working is on demilitarization and nuclear disarmament. And the third thing is social peace and justice, which includes interfaith harmony. Uh, this again is my way of paying back to society. You can think of something. You can think of some organization or some individual effort, need not be an organization, where you can pay back to society. It will be fulfilling for you. The society would be richer. Society would be beneficial, get more benefit out of it, and uh, and in general, you will add to your happiness. Okay, what Pravina was talking about. Uh, uh, Now, this may look like a big shocker to all of us because I know we cannot close our office at 6 o'clock, especially in tier 2 and tier 3 cities where you have to keep working till midnight. Uh, I have not been able to reach this level of productivity. I would confess, but given a choice, I would love my office to close at 6 o'clock. I still try to close my office at 7 o'clock, not beyond that. Of course, during your busy audit season and tax returns, nothing would work. None of this philosophy is going to work. But in general, we make it a point to close our office in time. And I feel that uh, if you maintain that kind of discipline and your clients also know that you maintain that kind of discipline, uh, uh, you actually enhance your performance. They know what time to call you, they know what time to call your office. People would just not, otherwise barge in. आपका 6 बजे तक ऑफिस है तो 6 बजे आपके ऑफिस में आ जाएंगे वो लोग. They will sit in your office and sit till 8 o'clock. No, this is not done. So you have to discipline yourself. It takes time. It's not easy for new practitioners. It's not. It's easier said than done. But I think a mental consciousness about this is very, very important. I have done that in my office. My clients know that after a particular time, it's better to meet us tomorrow than today, unless it is SOS, unless it is very, very urgent. And your employees would be happy. Your staff would be happy. Productivity would be up. Stress would be down. Uh, and You're taking care of your employee. They feel that you're taking care of them. And I can share from my personal experience that whether you work for 8 hours or 14 hours, the productivity remains same. It just remains same. It does not go beyond that. So try to find a limit to your professional working hours. I think a very important lesson. I'm confessing that I'm not able to do this always, but I think having a clear intention in your mind to limit your professional life to that particular time is something very, very important for us to understand. Otherwise, your work-life balance would not happen. You have to decide the the limit where your professional life ends and your personal life begins. I think extremely important for you. I have spoken about this biodiversity index. I would just skip that. Just saying that the earth does not belong to us, we belong to the earth. So it's important for us to silently keep working for the causes. Uh, this is something that I love doing and I've been doing. I've been helping startups, not with an intention of getting more practice, though it does bring more practice to me. I would confess, but my purpose is never uh, uh, to think in terms of money that it would bring. The purpose is because we are people who are able to give a helping hand to the startups because of our knowledge into finance, into management, into other areas. Uh, I am a part of many, many startup initiatives, and it makes my life so fulfilling when I'm able to handhold a startup, guide them, and see to it that many and that they see light of the day and they grow. And I've seen in my life many of the startups grow into successful businesses. Some of them have failed, which I feel sorry about, but many of them have grown into successful businesses. This is one another area. It is one another way of my paying back to society. You can think of finding being a part of some organization. Professionally, of course, it could be fulfilling. It could be useful for you in the long run. Networking, yes, it does enhance your network. Uh, when you're mentoring somebody, you become a friend to that person. So that also helps. And at the same time, you feel that you are creating something new. You're nurturing something. Most of the people uh, who start up a new business, they come from techie background usually, so they do not have any idea about finance, and they don't. And finance is the most lopsided area, most ignored area, till they realize that things have gone wrong. So I think if you can help them as a social endeavor, you would be doing a great job to society and to Indian economy by nurturing those startups. And many of the startups who otherwise would not have seen light of the day would be able to see because of your efforts. And the greatest dividend is someone else's growth. That's the message that I would like to give you. Think of it. I'm opening various areas for you. And I'm not thinking in terms of money. I'm thinking in terms of fulfillment. Uh, uh, a story, a story, the O. Henry story that I like to tell people is, uh, I would repeat here very quickly. We may run out of time, so I would just quickly repeat a story here. Uh, O. Henry story, a girl who was was terminally ill and was losing hope in life. Somebody told her that there is a tree outside. She could see a tree outside her window, and people. Somebody told her that as the tree, it was a fall time. The leaves of the tree were falling one by one. Somebody told her that as the last leaf falls, she would die because she was terminally ill, suffering from tuberculosis. The girl, an artist came to know about this thought that was coming to her mind. One night he secretly went out in the coldest part of the night. It was fall time, so it was sub-zero weather. He got out. On her window he painted a leaf which looked like a leaf from the tree. He painted it so beautifully that the leaf was looking like a real leaf. And whenever the girl would look at it, she would know that the last leaf has not fallen. And so she survived. She knew that the leaf is not falling. The O. Henry story says that the artist died in the process because it was so cold outside that he could not, could survive the cold. But he made this person live because of the optimism that he created for her. So I think hope is the thing with feathers. Hope is the thing. You can create optimism in other people's life by doing something good for them, and that makes your life more fulfilling. I would just skip this one and would come to uh, this story. Also, you would have heard many, many times. I would like to repeat here. Uh, there was a girl who used to throw starfish back into the sea. The star, when the tide comes, uh, it brings a lot of fish on the shore, on the beach, and many of them die because when the tide goes back, it does not take them along. So many of them die. This young girl used to throw those fish back into the water so that they can survive. A group of friends, when they saw her do that, they laughed. They said, "The shore is miles and miles long, thousands of miles long. There are millions of starfish who would go on the shore every day. What difference does it make to the sea and to the starfish when you are able to throw back only 10 or 20 or 30 of them?" The girl smiled and replied, "Well, I have just saved this one. It makes a difference to this particular starfish which I have saved." So the world is big, the world needs a lot of help, but if you can help somebody, if you can save one starfish, you have done your job. So do not think in terms of misery in the world. Do not think in terms of suffering in the world. Think of the suffering that you can alleviate, and you would have done your job. I always tell, when I talk about environment, I always tell people that uh, we all understand what is carbon footprint. I tell them that we are creating a lot of carbon footprint. If you can uh, have your negative footprint, in the sense that you consume less carbon, uh, then you give back. If you're able to do that, if you have a that kind of footprint, you have done your job. Same way, if you can uh, do your share of gratitude, your share of service to society, you have done your job. Do not think that the world is too big for you to be benefited. It's a drop in the ocean, fine, but still it's a drop. It's helping somebody. So I think this is a gratitude story that we wanted uh, to share. So we started with passion, peace, and purpose. So your misaligned self is lacking energy, clarity, and direction. Cultivate passion. Find out what makes you happy. Ignite energy and enthusiasm. Find peace, achieve mental clarity and calmness, define purpose, establish clear direction and meaning, your ikigai, your purpose in life. So you cultivate passion. Most important lesson from today. Number two, find peace, find things that make you happy and peaceful. Define the purpose of your living, your ikigai, why you exist. Remember the eulogy story. Remember what people would love to say about you on that unfortunate event. This becomes makes your life balanced, full of energy, direction, and clarity. A couple of more tips if we have time, Pravina. I don't know how much time we have.
Yeah, actually, we have 25 minutes
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I can
and
continue
many
with a
more
couple of.
questions.
Yeah. Okay. So we want me to stop for the questions now, or finish off a few slides and then we can take questions together. Whatever you say.
Yeah, I think if you would be able to finish slides in 10 to 12 minutes, we
Yeah,
will take question.
perfect, 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 perfect. So the power of compounding, we all know, um, uh, it works beautifully. As chartered accountant, that is the first lesson we learn how compounding works. Einstein said this is the eighth greatest wonder in the world, uh, the power of compounding, and it makes your money grow manyfold over a period of time. The longer you hold on to your money and keep it invested properly, the higher is the return because of the power of compounding. Same way, your habits also compound, your skills also compound, relationships also compound. Habit, skill, relationship, health, kindness, and other factors in your life, they also have a compounding effect. So if you are getting into bad habits, the bad habits also compound. To give you an example from the finance world, uh, the power of compounding works beautifully for somebody who has invested his money in the right way. And the money, let's say 15 years later, the money would have grown manyfold. The power of compounding works worst for the person who has taken a loan for 15 years. The compounding is working against him, and the longer the period, the higher is going to be uh, uh, the loss to that person. Same way, your habits also compound. Good habits compound, bad habits compound. Gradually you start becoming a slave of your habit. So keep that in mind. Start developing good habits so that they compound, not the bad habits. Skill, relationship, you have to nurture relationship also compounds over a period of time. So your life is sum total of all these things that I'm talking about here. So life compounds. Choose you want to grow. The same principle that creates wealth also creates wisdom, trust, excellence, and growth for you. So remember that compounding, the power of compounding in your mind. Remember that everything that you're doing today is going to be incrementally adding itself to the overall personality that you're going to become over a long period of time. So every good deed, every bad deed that you do has an impact on your personality. Think before you do anything. Think before you spend your time. Time is the most important resource in our life. Think before you spend on your time on something that is detrimental to your growth, because it's going to compound gradually. So this is one thing. And then uh, I always tell people that we are used to the corporate world. So why not have your own personal board of directors, your inner circle? Your growth depends on the people you keep around you. Build an inner circle that includes your mentors who guide you, and mentors like I have had many mentors in my life. Some of the mentors are dead 100 years back because those are the books that they wrote. Benjamin Franklin is my favorite author who wrote 300 years back. I still love reading that. Adam Smith wrote 300 years back. I still love reading Wealth of Nations. And every time I read, I find it different. So find out mentors, living or dead, who can guide you, peers who challenge and push you, your friends, your colleagues, constructive critics. Uh, you remember what Kabir said, Nindak nere rakhiye. Keep keep your critics close at you, because the critics would tell you what is going wrong. What we call devil's advocacy. Let them uh, talk negative about things that can go wrong so that you understand. Juniors who energize you with fresh thinking, and friends who ground you. Have this personal board of directors. uh, Frame a structure, and to yourself you say that this is my board of directors. This is how this is a fulfilling board of directors, where there are independent directors also, where there are experts also, where there are competent people, people who guide you, people who work with you. This board of directors would become your inner circle, and would make your life's mission successful. uh, One thing I would always like to uh, tell my young friends, especially young friends, in a profession, if you're in a profession, your uh, your reputation matters a lot. I like to distinguish between uh, trust deficit and trust dividend. When you are trustworthy, uh, you get a lot of trust dividend out of that. Just to give you an example, you can visualize your friends. One of your friends always tells a lie. उसकी बात का बिल्कुल भरोसा नहीं होता है कभी भी आप. Whenever he says something, you would not believe that person. So even if he tells the truth, you would not believe that person. So he's getting a trust deficit, because you do not trust that person, because you know that this person is a habitual liar. Other person who always tells the truth, so even if he happens to tell something, you would still believe that person. So he is getting a trust dividend, because people trust him. So be a person with lot of trust dividend, not with a trust deficit. In a profession like ours, a negative reputation is very bad. Positive reputation is very good. Neutral reputation is also okay, but do not fall into the negative side. When you have a neutral reputation, people would come to you, and with your interaction, you may turn that into a positive reputation. But if you have a negative reputation, everything is lost. So try to build your reputation or as a trustworthy person, as a person whose signature carries a lot of weight because of your accumulated reputation, because a person who people trust, and that our profession is built on trust. So I think this is a very important thing. Your reputation walks into the room 5 minutes before. Uh, sorry, I just slide. Your reputation walks into the room 5 minutes before you do. It's so important. It travels before you do. So if trust is lost, everything is lost. Reputation is lost, everything is lost. I think this is a very important lesson for you to understand. And if you have the trust, money comes automatically, because trust dividend, as I was talking about. I just quickly move to the next slide. So a skill staking of the future CA, he or she should understand CA fundamentals well, which includes the latest technology, the AI thing. I think whenever I discuss AI with people, I tell them that people say that AI is going to take away your job. AI is going to make CA redundant. I say no, AI is not going to take away your job. AI is a great assistant. A CA with AI is going to take away the job of a CA without AI. Remember, this is a big statement that I'm making. A CA with AI is going to replace a CA without AI. It's something that you need to learn. So CA fundamentals, which includes updating your knowledge, is an important thing. Communication skill matters. Practice communication skill. Spoken communication, written communication. Even when ChatGPT can draft your email, you need to be able to write good communication. Practice that wherever you are. Start practicing. Practice speaking also. Public speaking helps you a lot. In a profession, you come across lots of opportunity where you have to speak. Wherever you are, I do not say at what rung of the ladder you belong to. Practice more into these skills. These are important for you. Grab every opportunity of speaking that comes your way. Do not shy away from that. Learn, practice, speak, write. as much as you can. Strategic thinking and empathy is what matters ultimately. The most important plank is having an empathetic attitude, having an attitude of sympathy, attitude of uh, understanding people, I think becomes the most important thing for you to understand. Um, so what Premila said in the beginning, uh, prioritization and time mastery becomes an important thing. The line between your professional life and personal life. Focus on less, eliminate the inessential to give room for impact. Uh, Eliminate the inessential. You can do an ABC analysis, find out what is not worthy and remove that. Begin with purpose, clarify your why and move with intention. Schedule your priorities. Use time blocks to avoid the trivial many. We keep notifications on our cell phone on always. Why? Why do we have to do that? You can keep the notifications off, especially a notification of things that are not uh, uh, life and death for you. You can keep them off. You can I do not say do not attend to social media. Social media is important, but give a time slot to it. Find out, you find out a time of the day where you can handle your social media, you can reply to messages, and then you are off it. Then you are onto your work. To try to find out, block it, find the slots where you would be working and slots where you would be doing those things, and avoid trivial things. It does not help in any way. Honor your energy. When you are using social media prompts and notification, the social media notification is driving you instead of you driving the social media. That's extremely bad. You should be on the driver's seat, not the social media. The social media has been designed in such a way that it makes you impulsive. It makes you distract from your work. When you open your mobile phone and you're looking for something, you get into something else and you forget what you were looking for initially. So just slot it. Just find the right slot where you can handle that. And I let me assure you, it does not nothing would be lost, no harm done. Even if you don't see WhatsApp notification for 1 hour or 2 hours, nothing is going to be lost. If it is very urgent, that person would call you. Remember, would not urgent message or SOS message would not come on WhatsApp. They would never come on WhatsApp because if it is urgent, people will call you. So just remember to prioritize, remember to block your time uh, to avoid the trivial things, and you can handle them during the day at designated slots. It will work. Honor your energy and I align task with your peaks and dips. Every person, like I'm a morning person. Some people are night owls. So you know what is your right time, what is the peak time of your energy. Use that, align your important task with those peaks and dips. Some time of the day you don't like to work, so find out something interesting that you can do during that time of the day, rather than something which is boring otherwise. So try, you have to find your peaks and your dips. This is something that I initially talked about. Um, we need to understand these four quadrants. Pravina, in response to your question earlier, I was talking about that. We need to understand these four quadrants: things which are urgent and important, not urgent and important, urgent and not important, and not urgent and not important. See, urgent and not important, third quadrant, I draw attention to you. Sir, one small doubt. Client request for unnecessary certificates, repeated follow up on documents already requested. These are urgent, these become urgent, but these are not important. Uh, if you handle the work which are urgent and important, you must do that immediately. They are unavoidable. Not urgent and important, this could be learning new skills, new standards, building SOPs, uh, automations, and other things. These are not urgent, but these are important for your life. If you keep doing number one and number two, urgent and important, not urgent and important. If you keep prioritizing your time between these two, the third would become redundant. Third would not be of, there would not be much content left here if you keep doing first two properly. There would be something arising out of that. You need to understand how to handle that, how to manage that, how to delegate that, how to postpone that, because it is urgent, but it is not important. So you need to understand how to handle that. The best way is to find uh, a junior in your office, an article clerk, a staff to handle that, and automation that can handle that, or something that can wait. And you find the right slot where you handle that. And the fourth is not urgent and not important. This is not to be done. These are time drainers. So you can actually decide your life into these four quadrants. You can do it every day. You can do it every month. You just draw, this is urgent and important. This is not. What is not urgent and important becomes urgent and important if you do not give uh, attention to that. What is urgent and not important becomes urgent and important because you did not delegate. So you need to understand all these quadrants. If you can divide your activities into these and know that this fourth quadrant is not to be used in any case, it does not help you. Endless WhatsApp university forwards that we are keen of doing, browsing without purpose. I've seen many people, I just wonder, they just keep scrolling reels after reels after reels. I don't understand what purpose does it serve. Overchecking of email or bank apps, unstructured internet scrolling. So these are not urgent, not important. Avoid. They are time drainers. If you can just understand this philosophy, I think life would be better. And finally, uh, yeah, I just skip that. Finally, something that we keep teaching our clients, and we need to understand it ourselves, the FIRE, the uh, the financial independence and retiring early is an important thing. We need to understand. When I say retire, I do not mean a professional does not normally retire. That's the beauty of the profession. You can keep working till death do us part. You can do that. But what I mean to say is that you need to take care of your personal finances also as you take care of your clients' finances. The money is the second plank after health in my chart. So keep investing properly so that you are able to generate enough corpus to uh, to give you passive income enough for you to survive even when you are not working. Once you have that kind of corpus built up, where money comes from passive sources, which could be stock market, which could be real estate, which could be SIPs, equity, index, whatever, when you are able to gradually build up that corpus, which is big enough for you to sustain without working, then your work would be pleasure. I'm not saying that you just retire at that point in time, just hang your boots. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that build that corpus big enough so that you don't have to work for money. And when you don't have to work for money, money comes in greater number. I can assure you, money comes with a lot of pleasure. Money, you become more ethically oriented. You become more systematic in your approach. You become more disciplined. You know how to draw a line because you're not uh, uh, concerned about losing a client uh, who may not be the right client for you. So lots of things can happen when you are assured of your financial future. This we keep telling to our clients. I think it's important that we keep telling to ourselves also. So financial freedom is not about retiring early. It's about never being forced to retire. It's being working. So finally, I would come to the last slide. Uh, let us let your work reflect your values, not stress. Let your life reflect purpose, not pressure. Your life is the message to the world. And finally, the closing remark from me. As I said in the middle of the discussion, rediscover at least one passion today or tomorrow or in a few days. If you can find one passion activity in a every year or every 2 years or every 3 years and keep adding to that, it will be good. Learn a new language, for example. I've learned 8 languages. When I travel to Latin American countries, I speak Spanish there, and those people are so happy. When I travel to Middle East, I speak Persian and Arabic, and those people feel suddenly there's a connect between me and that person. And the language learning makes me mentally agile. I would never die of dementia or Parkinson because I constantly keep raking my brain into learning new skills. So learn a new language, find a new passion, find something that is challenging to you but you would love to do. Reclaim one moment of peace, restart one purpose-led action, paying back to society, paying forward to society. If you can find one of them in next few days, just one is enough to make your life more fulfilling, more balanced, and to give you inner peace and to decide the purpose of your life and to ignite your passion. I think this is the closing remark. With this, I would just like to thank you Wishing you purpose in your work, peace in your mind, and progress in your journey. Stay inspired, stay balanced. Okay. I would just uh,
Yes, thank you,
stop
sir.
sharing this.
Yeah, for giving time to questions of the members. There are lots of questions in the chat
Yeah.
box.
Okay. Okay. Please. Yeah.
Thank you for your noble and enthusiastic thought. I am also involved in few NGO working for needy, but sometimes feel discouraged seeing the condition of the poor as also non-supportive from a family and friends. So please advise how to not feel dismotivated to continue.
Yeah. I feel keep doing your work like the girl with the starfish who keeps throwing starfish back into the sea. Keep doing your work and keep if you have done your part of the duty, you should be happy about it. Right? It's going to happen. Uh, people uh, people may not like it because it may not be through their passion. They would not understand your priorities. So what I feel is without getting into a conflict or without getting subdued because others do not like it, do not be a uh, uh, do not judge yourself by the standard others are judging you. Do not. Just you know that you're doing a good thing. Keep doing that good thing. It does require some balancing. It does require some resistance. And when it comes to family, I think communication is the key. Explain to them that this is what makes you happy and the society better. I think a lot of good things can happen when you communicate well with the family and make them understand. To the outsiders, it does not matter. Just you are doing a good thing. Just keep doing.
Thank you, sir. The other is how do you manage golf and work? I am also playing golf since last 2 years in the morning. People tell I am
Yeah.
wasting time. I should change the hobby, choose a hobby that requires less time. I wake up at 5 a.m. to play. They say I should sleep instead. I don't like being average. So whatever I am doing, I want to go deep, be it golf or business. So is the perfectionist, being perfectionist is good or bad?
Fine, depend. See, it's an ROI kind of thing. How much time you are able to give and how much you are going to get extract out of that. I would have loved to be a pro golfer, but I know I can't spare that much of time. So whatever time I'm able to spare, I try to do my best in that. And golf is people do not understand. Golf is people think golf is a hockey at a standstill where you just standing for hours together and doing nothing. They don't realize that it's a much needed slowdown in your life. Golf helps you slow down, which is important. In the fast paced world of the today, you need to have certain activities which slow you down, and golf is one of them. And secondly, I know golf takes a lot of time, but it creates a lot of networking in the first place. It's a good networking thing. You are uh, close to nature. No other sport can take you so close to nature as golf can do. You are able to appreciate the nature. And finally, since I also find difficult many times to play golf because of the time constraint, I just go to the golf course, do on the weekends, do a 9 hole and come back. Sometimes I just go there just on the drive. I just practice my golf and then come back. So depending upon the time that you need to prioritize and to allocate to those activities, uh, I know people who got so addicted to golf that they started playing golf at the cost of their profession and business. That line you have to decide. When I say line, you have to decide line between your profession and your passion. From the reverse is also true. Getting too much into passion without with ignoring your profession also can be a bad thing. So just find out what would be the right balance for you. And if you're not able to give time, weekend golfing can be good. Just weekend, uh, try to do a 9 hole and come back. And if you don't have time, just go to the golf course, spend half an hour with friends and come back. You would still feel happy.
Very well said, sir. So there is please tell us how we can overcome the fear of missing out, which gets us addicted to social media all the time. So we thought that we will miss something urgent, important, some updates, and we'll keep scrolling. How to handle FOMO?
Social media is meant for that. Social media wants to create FOMO because they want you to be engaged. The the longer the longer you are engaged with social media, the more the social media is going to benefit. So you need to understand in the first place that to Facebook and to Instagram, you are not a customer. You are a product. You are a commodity because you are creating contents which others are using, and because others are using those contents, the Instagram is making money. Instagram does not have a customer service number. Facebook does not have a customer service number, because if you want to call them, there's no way of calling them because you are not a customer to them. Need to understand. Had you been a customer, they would have been a customer service number. You are not a customer to them. You are a commodity to them. The more valuable, the more you add content, the more valuable as a commodity you become to them. So if you have a larger network, you become more valuable. If you engage more, you become more valuable, because the more you engage, the more other people would go through your content and would read your content and would engage with the social media, which would give them money. So if you understand this basic thing, I think, and one more thing I would like to tell you here, those of us who are engaged to addicted to social media, those of us who cannot live without social media, try this exercise for 1 week. For 10 or 15 days, just go off social media. And 15 days later, you come back to it. You would realize that not a single person has missed you. Nobody has missed you. You were thinking, oh, I'm not there in social media, so people must be missing. Nobody's missing you. It's just engagement, it's just entertainment. Nobody would ever miss you. Go out of it for 1 month and then come back and say hi. People would say hi. That's it. Nobody would even say, "Why? Where were you? Were you dead or alive?" Nobody bothers. So just understand that social media is engagement, addiction. Use it to your benefit. Social media is not bad. Use it to your benefit. Use it to your advantage. I use social media for uh, uh, publicizing the activities that we do. I use a lot for that, but it does not mean that I'm addicted. I would keep checking for notifications every now and then. All my notifications are off, including WhatsApp, including uh, LinkedIn, including LinkedIn. I can call part of social media now. It's now becoming a social media rather than a professional thing, and everything. I'm on every social media, but with notifications off on every social media. And I have a devoted time of the day when I go to it, check it, do my job, and then back to it. So learn uh, uh, to detach yourself from the social media. There is no missing out. Absolutely understand that nobody misses out you out on social media. That means you are, if nobody is missing you, you are also not missing anything. As simple as that.
Wow, that's a great thing. Okay, so the other question is many professional experience emotional exhaustion, but
Sorry.
overlook it. What signs should we aware of and how we can address emotional fatigue proactively?
I think very important element and a very important question, because emotional health is something that we ignore till it bursts down, till it takes its toll. I think it's important for us to understand that if something is causing you stress, either you need to change your ways of doing thing or change the thing that you are doing. It's important. So do not end of the day, when you do an analysis of the day, you should feel that your energy, the your power bank has not drained energy out of you. So think of it as a power bank where positive things reinforce your energy and negative things drain your energy. Your positive things should be higher than the negative things that take away your energy. Make it a point, a daily exercise, and be aware of the emotional hurt that is happening to your mind. If something is emotionally hurting you and you're ignoring it for a long time, it becomes a chronic problem for you. So try to rectify that at the soonest. Try to identify, discuss with peer, discuss with people, and to somebody for whom this has become a chronic thing, I would dare say that uh, do not hesitate in even seeking a professional help. Finding a psychiatrist or psychologist these days, there was a time when talking to a psychologist was a stigma. People thought that you had some mental problem or something. Now talking to a psychologist who is your friend, who understands your emotions and can guide you the right way, is no longer a stigma. So feel free. You can talk to an online psychiatrist or psychologist also if it's that bad a situation. If you feel that you can handle your emotions yourself, or with the help of a peer or a friend who would understand you, do that. But the person who has asked this question has asked the right question. This is often ignored, but I think the most important aspect of your personality that you need to take care of.
Yeah, very well explained that if you are not feeling that you are overthinking and not doing any action and just thinking, then you have to stop. And yes, for physical health, we go to doctors immediately if we are not
Yes,
getting relief in 1 2 days. And if we are feeling mental exhaust for months, days and months,
yes.
even then we don't go to take a professional help. So
Yes.
this
And
help a
and
bit.
and the first thing can come from your internal board of directors. They can be of help to you. Have that internal board of directors. If they do not, they cannot help you. Seek out a professional help. Nothing wrong in that. Absolutely nothing wrong. They are professionals like we chartered accountants who are trained to handle your mental balance sheet. So give it to them.
Yeah, actually, yes. And my personal experience is very good that for any kind of help in profession, also for any queries, being I'm living tier three city. So if I ask for anyone to help, be his in senior most position, he's happy to help me. So it's
Absolutely.
we
Absolutely.
what think that we should not ask, but if you ask, you will get help.
Yes, absolutely. Ask and you shall, seek and you shall find. Ask and it shall be given to you, as one of the scriptures say. So you
Yeah,
have to
actually,
seek, and
it's
people are happy to come out. Yeah,
yeah, I think it is a book, the name of the book, Ask and It Is Given.
yeah, right.
Okay, so when faced with the repeated setback, how do we prevent frustration from weakening our sense of purpose? So there are repeated setbacks.
uh, Somebody who has qualified as a chartered accountant has already learned how to handle setback when you were a student. Many of us have not cleared in first attempt. Still, we have persisted. We have gone through that process. So remember that what happened during our student life would continue to be a part of a journey all along. Life would not always give you bouquets. It will give you brickbats also. It will continue to give you. And many times it may not be because you lack the talent. It may be just the circumstances. It may be things can go wrong. As uh, one of my favorite writer, Nassim Taleb, talks about situations where you're just unlucky, just for some reason you're not able to make it. So it's the we like to call it divinity or god or luck or whatever, but the fact is that it's randomness. We like to call it randomness. Because of some random factors you are not able to solve a situation or get through in a situation. Don't get disheartened. People face failure. If you have done your job well and still it did not succeed, give it another try and another try and another try. But if your another try also does not give you the result and it causes failure, that means either uh, 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 you need to improve your skills. Just have a review of your a peer review of your own skills, perhaps, to see that what is causing it to go wrong. If you are if you're confident that you are not doing anything wrong and you're working the right way, let so failure can come from controllable factors and from uncontrollable factors. Controllable factors you need to improve. Uncontrollable factors, do not worry about them. Ultimately you will succeed. So it's being persistent and without losing hopes.
Thank you, sir. And I think it will be the last question. What personal habits have helped you to stay aligned with your passion and purpose throughout your journey?
Yes, that's a good question. And my answer to this is that uh, number one is I am able to remove the superfluous from my life, in the sense that a sculptor, when he makes a sculpture, uh, picks up a block of stone, and he knows the beauty inside. He just has to remove the excesses to get the beauty out of it. What you see is a block of stone. what he sees is a beautiful face inside. He just has to remove those excesses. I think I have been able to remove those excesses from my life. I have been able to prioritize. I have done away and removed lots of frivolous and trivial things that we do in our life. Lots of things. All of us do that. I also am guilty of doing many of those things, but I've been able to do away many of those things and utilize that time proactively for doing things which make me happy, which I'm passionate about. So I do not spend much time on social media. I do not spend much time watching TV, which does not give me anything good, and and so on. So you can find out what activities in your life are trivial and frivolous. Remove that and use that time for better things like ROI thing that we understand as a chartered accountant. Every minute that you spend needs to have a justifiable ROI. I think that's the message.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for such a insightful and interactive session. You have answered every question of the audience way, and I think they understood the way how they should think, the way they should act, and to analyze their life, to analyze. We do audit, limited review audit, concurrent audit. And forensic audit for our clients, but we never do it for our life. And you showed the way to us, and your life is the real time example how one can live a fulfilling life and do so many things in and excel in so many areas. You are the light for us, and model for us whom we can follow and do the things the way you does in that your all these things in your life. Thank you very much for such insightful session and covering a much important and not so attention everyone gives to this aspect of life. Thank you so much, and I
Thank you.
thank Work-Life Balance Committee for bringing such experienced speakers on this platform to guide our members. And thank you very much for giving me opportunity to interact with you and for this wonderful session. Thank you, Work-Life Balance Committee, for giving me opportunity and audience to participate actively in this session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Praveena. Thank you, Priyamvada, Work-Life Balance Committee, the Institute. I'm much obliged to you for making me a part of this wonderful initiative that you're doing. Thank you. Thanks a lot.